Thank you very much for the kind invitation and the introduction. And good morning, everybody. My name is Takehiro Shimada, Deputy Chief of Mission of the Japanese Embassy in Washington. I just came to Washington about 3 months ago, but this is my third tour to Washington. So I'm so excited to be here, and it is extraordinary pleasure and honor to be invited in this distinguished place. And first of all, I'd like to express my heartfelt appreciation to all of you for your understanding and strong support to the Japan-US alliance, which is the linchpin for Japan's foreign policy. And today, I would like to briefly explain why Japan thinks highly of the concept of the free and open Indo-Pacific. We call it HOIP initiative, and Japan's effort under the HOIP initiative with close cooperation and policy coordination with the United States. As the current situation at the Asia-Pacific and Ukraine and Middle East show, the international security environment is increasingly severe these days. And particularly, how to cope with China is a common strategic challenge for both Japan and the United States. And let's look at the current security environment surrounding Japan. I just prepared some materials on the board. And against the backdrop of the described in the chart, it is essential for the Japan and the United States to strengthen, strengthen the deterrence and response capability, as well as reinforce our efforts in the field of economic security. For example, if I put up China, they are extensively and rapidly enhancing its military power without sufficient transparency. They are also intensifying its attempts to unilaterally change the status quo by force in the East China Sea and the South China Sea, including the Taiwan Strait. Thirdly, they are strengthening its strategic ties with Russia and attempting to change the international order. And another threat is North Korea. They are making rapid progress in its missile-related technologies and operational capabilities. They are also intensifying to bolster its nuclear capability, both in quality and quantity, at the maximum speed. And the third threat to Japan is Russia. They are strengthening its armament in northern territories. And this is presumably due to the background that the Sea of Okhotsk plays an arena of the activity for the strategic nuclear submarines. They are also doubling down on the strategic coordination with China. For example, in recent years, these two countries have ramped up their military coordination by continuing to conduct their joint exercise and drills, such as joint navigation by their naval vessels and joint air flight of their bombers in the vicinity of Japan. Japan itself has been fundamentally fortifying its defense capability, and based on this increasingly severe security environment surrounding its own soil, Japan, as a reliable ally of the United States, is determined to reinforce its own deterrence and response capability for the sake of further strengthening the Japan-US alliance. For example, in 2022, the government of Japan decided to increase its security-related budget for the equivalent amount to 2% of the GDP in the next 5 years, which means that we should achieve that goal until 2027. More specifically, Japan increased its defense spending by approximately 50% in the past 2 years, and Japan purchased military equipment from the United States, which amounted to $2.8 billion in the past 2 years. Japan has also committed to purchase maximum 400 Tomahawk missiles and decided to introduce about 150 F-35 fighter jets in total. These figures are biggest in number among the US allies. Japan seriously considers it vital to strengthen its own defense industries and is pursuing close collaboration with the US counterparts. For example, joint production of the missiles to satisfy the imminent needs to fulfill the counter-strike capability. At this moment, our serious concern and challenge is maintaining the peace and security around the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan accounts for the 60% of the global production of the most sophisticated semiconductors, which are indispensable for material or for AI, most advanced military equipment, and so on. Moreover, if PRC successfully occupies and physically absorbs Taiwan, they can achieve the free access to the Pacific Ocean. And next, I would like to show the Japan's perspective of the global map. And for the, please turn the page. Next materials. If not, the that's right. I will show you that the data showing that Asia is the main engine of the global economy. For example, according to the data 2023, ASEAN enjoyed the 4% economic growth, India 4%, China 5%, whereas Japan only enjoyed 1.9%, US 22.5%, EU 0.6%. And among ASEAN and South Asian countries, we are observing increasing awareness of confidence, responsibility, and leadership, as well as democracy, rule of law, and market economy taking roots. And also, if you look at the Africa, of course, Africa has a huge potential, and also there are lots of main countries joining the so-called global south. And the population of Africa is now amounted to 1.3 billion, but their population will become 2.5 billion in 2050. And also, they are abundant of the natural resources and promising market. So, which means that Indo-Pacific is a kind of a corridor connecting these main engine and the future sort of promising area. So, based on that recognition, Japan realized that free and open Indo-Pacific region as an international public good that must be maintained and developed through ensuring the rule-based international order. By so doing, international community will be able to join and enjoy and even further advance international peace and prosperity. In order for Japan and the United States to create ideal strategic global atmosphere in the Indo-Pacific area, it is also important to strengthen and expand the multi-layered network among the like-minded countries in which our two countries play pivotal roles. Japan will continue to work hand in hand with the United States in taking a lead to create such an endeavor. For example, in order to realize the concept of the HOIP, Quad, the framework of the close cooperation and the coordination among Japan, United States, Australia, and India is significantly important. China is also closely monitoring such an endeavor, and they are wary of the actual development in various fields among our four countries. In addition to the Quad, it is indeed very useful for Japan and the United States to continue to work together to create and develop such trilateral or minilateral framework of collaboration and policy coordination, like Japan-US ROK, Japan-US Philippines, of which our two countries are core. In terms of the possible roles that the multi-layered cooperation frameworks led by Japan and the United States, we should pursue similar endeavor in various areas on the globe, such as Southeast Asia, South Pacific Island, Middle East, Latin America, Africa, and so on, to cope with the ambition posed by not only by China, but also by Russia. Japan, as the closest ally and a global partner with the United States, should continue to consult closely with the United States in how efficiently and effectively we would be able to work together with other countries in various regions for the betterment of the world peace and prosperity. In this context, your understanding and strong support for our alliance is much appreciated. Thank you very much.